Now, right now we're going to go over our inventory management. Basically how this works is we're going to go over what to take, what not to take, what you're going to need, what's better than certain things and what's not, and what to look out for while you're exploring Chernarus. Now, some of the things you're going to want to take seem pretty obvious, like the food, the water, even your weaponry. But some of the things that may not be as obvious that you're going to want to gather is specific types of clothing. Because depending on what you grab will inhibit what you, for clothing, will inhibit what you can grab out in the world. Meaning if you grab a hoodie, you'll notice that the hoodie can only carry a certain amount of things, which I believe is either 6 or 12. So you're not going to be able to carry much within that hoodie, but as you're going throughout the world, they're going to notice that each thing you grab has what they call an item slot number inside that item box. Now the item box is nothing more than just the item that you gather, and when you look at your inventory, it's just a place that you can put it. Now what's really important is that little number in the upper right hand corner in that particular item box, and that will tell you how many slots that particular item is taking up within your inventory. That's why it's super important that you make sure that you get the best gear that you can so you can carry what is necessary throughout the map. Now, as you can see, we'll go and we'll take a look in the inventory here, and you can look at the cooking pot, for instance. There's a cooking pot. It takes up one slot, but it takes up one slot, but it can carry upwards to 12 if you look inside. That's the number that it can actually take as well. So basically, since it's like that, it's only taking up, because it cancels it out in a sense, since it takes up 12 slots, it can carry 12 slots, so it's really only taking one slot, and it's giving me an additional 11. Not only am I getting the additional spots, but I'm actually able to use the cooking pot for other things like cooking food for obvious reasons, or even storage as we're using it now. Now keep that in mind, because with that number that we have here, it says 12 in the upper right hand corner for the cooking pot. Let's go back in the inventory. If you look at this, it says 12 here. Now look at the UK vest that it's actually inside of. My current number in the upper right hand corner of the UK assault vest item box, the inventory box, it says 22 out of 35. Now 35 is the maximum amount of boxes that this thing can hold. Now moving forward, you want to make sure that you can carry certain things that so you do not get overstacked, because if you look in the bottom left hand corner, of my screen, you'll notice that my stamina bar is just under halfway. It's about a third, roughly a little over, about 40%, let's just say, of what my stamina bar is. Now if I go any lower, which is only a handful of things, and in some cases it's really, if I just fill up this canteen right here, if I fill that up, it can really make me not run at all. Currently I can sprint, but if I guarantee if I fill up that canteen, I might be able to do it at the end of this video, I won't be able to run as much. So I'm playing that fine line, and you got to make sure. Now the reason why I'm able to carry as much as I can, because if you look, I'm carrying, in this particular, I'm carrying some rounds from my M4, and I have 2 AK mags that are stacked to the rim with rounds as soon as I find an AKM. I did have one, but I gave it to a buddy of mine who needed it because he lost his stuff due to a glitch, so I just felt bad and I gave it to him. But there's the first cooking pot, and here's the second one. I'm carrying nothing but food in it. Now as you can see, these two are not the only things that we can carry throughout the map inside of our bags. I like to think about it as, and I laugh about it sometimes, as carrying a container within a container within a container. So you're able to do stuff like that in this game to kind of jump further into what you can and can't grab, and kind of cheat the system in a way if you're careful about it and you pay attention to what you can carry. In this first aid kit, I even have an extra AKM round. It's just, since I have, I used all the bandages up because I got in a firefight, but since what I have right now, I don't really have anything but the rags in there that can really bandage me, and I already put that on my hotbar. I'm just using the first aid kit as an extra, storage unit. Until I find something better, I'll just drop some of the stuff, and we'll move forward from there. And again, in this teddy bear here, as you can see, not everything will be able to carry as much, so basically taking a slot for the containers only take one slot, as well as what the number for the particular containers, like for instance the teddy bear, the first aid kit, and the cooking pots, even though they only take one slot, you gain the slots that the number says. So basically, with the teddy bear, it doesn't do anything. And with the cooking pots and the, the first aid kit, essentially doesn't take away anything, except for that one slot. but it really doesn't matter because you're gaining extra slots anyway, so it's, you know, risk over reward. Just pay attention to what you grab. Now, the other thing that a lot of people don't know about particularly is what you can use for clothing in this game. Now, there's a big difference between a wool jacket and a tactical shirt, because the wool jacket may only carry 6 or 8. The tactical shirt can carry 12. But you can carry the same amount of items, and the tactical shirt won't take as much away from your stamina bar, just like the tactical jacket or the UK vest jacket. Now, the UK assault jacket that I have right now, that vest that I have, that's a little bit different, because if I take this vest off, which I'm not going to because the game's kind of glitchy right now, if I take that vest off, actually, you know what, let's just do it. If I take this vest off, let's go to my thing, I hold it down, look at my stamina bar, it goes up. So I'm going to go ahead and take that, and it automatically puts it back on, and I'm ready to rock. So, and it's all dependent on what you have. Now, the things you want to look for as far as clothing goes, you want to stay as color neutral as possible. You don't want bright reds, bright greens, bright oranges like a lot of people are doing to signify between the two groups. And if that's something you guys want to do and you guys are rolling in packs, that's definitely something that you totally can do, right? But if you're playing a solo player or playing with another person that doesn't want to be seen all that much, some of the things you're going to want to do is try earthy colors. Browns, tans, greens, dirty clothes, and make it so that you blend in very well. All neutral colors. As you can see, the only thing that's bright about me besides my dashing good looks and my non-peanut sized brain is that mask that I have over my face. So, you know, that's something I'm gonna want to work out. But you can really put your character in any kind of way, fashion them up in any kind of way that you choose to, specifically because, you know, it's really all about customization in this game. I know the game is in game preview currently. Now, another thing I want to show you guys about is this took me a long time to figure out. Now, let's go ahead and put my gun back into my inventory because I want to show you something about magazines that I didn't learn about. Let's go ahead, and if I can take the clip, right? Let's go ahead and throw it on my slot. And let's go ahead and throw this in my inventory. Let's put this on my hand. Now, you would think that you'd be able to just hit B on this, right? You cannot take a gun that's out in the open like this and take the magazine out of it, especially if it's your own gun, and expect to put another clip inside of it. It will not work. But what you can do is, if you want to go ahead and do that, is you can go ahead and put the gun in your hand, let's just say, and then we'll go in here and we'll throw this back into our inventory. Come on, sucker free. We'll open up there we go. There we go, put it in the inventory. I don't know why it didn't work last time. And then if I wanted to, I can just go ahead and combine this one with that one and switch. That's the only way that you're able to switch out your magazines. And if you find a gun on the ground and you want that magazine, you do have to put the gun in your hand in order to make that magazine work. Especially if there's an M4 on the ground that's a magazine and you have an M4 on your inventory. If you take that magazine out of the M4 that's on the ground, that's in the vicinity column, you will not be able to use it on your current gun, especially if it's in your inventory. So you have to make sure that you put the gun that you're taking the magazine out in your hand in order to make sure that you can use that magazine on a different gun in the future if you choose to. And that's pretty important to remember. That's just the way that it works. That's just the way the cookie crumbles with that. And I would feel bad if I didn't tell anybody about it. This is going to be a comprehensive game review ranging, you know, with this particular episode, we're going to be going over the inventory management, as well as just previously we went over the, how to spawn, where to look, the top 5 major spawn points in the game with the cities, and the cities to avoid if you're just trying to get your loot and get back in inland while you're in the middle of a firefight, so you don't get stuck out in the middle of nowhere without having anything you need. Now, there is an opportunity out in the game where you can grab a dry bag. You can grab a, a shovel and go find a spot, put everything you want to save in a dry bag, and then bury the dry bag. Now, that dry bag, or the waterproof or hard case item, or even a cooking pot that you decide to bury with a few items in there, will last on the server for up to 43 days, I believe. after the 43rd day, it will become an issue and it will disappear. So it's advantageous of you to make sure that you have multiple bag loots. And what I've heard and what I've thought about doing myself is just every day that I'm on, put a bag somewhere on a different server, write that server number down, make sure that I don't remember it, and then as these servers pop up, because I'm sure a lot of them are going to go away and have a complete reset once the game starts over. For the full game release, these things are going to go away. But let's just say that you have 5 or 6 dash points that are designed to or set up to expire within days of each other. You can just grab stuff, what you need, go into a firefight, oh you die, got another one, and you can just offset the amount of time that you're actually going to be, using them and hoping that they don't expire. It's a pretty good point in the game to try to figure out, especially if it's a mechanic that allows you to basically have an extra stash point so you're not starting from scratch. It's something that I didn't know until about 2 days ago, and I was pretty excited about it. I was a little jealous that I didn't know until probably about 2 weeks after the game first came out, but I wasn't aware of it either. So I'm going to take this, and we'll notice right here, oh, great, we can still run. That's good to know. I got myself some tactical bacon. Oh, nice, got myself a 30 round standing bag clip. So we'll go and we'll take this since I already have it. Now I have 3. There we go. Oh, this is perfect. This is perfect. So we'll go ahead and I'm going to show you guys how to change your magazines. So we'll go in here. Actually, I need the rounds from here. Now the M4, they take 556.44 millimeter rounds. We'll go and we'll throw this in here, and now the rounds take the clips take 30, so we'll go and we'll throw 30 in there, and we'll put the cooking pot back in my inventory. We will grab the mag that has 16 rounds in it, and now when we're hovering over the right caliber round for the right magazine, all we got to do is hit B. And you'll notice it'll say load magazine for the 5.56 44 millimeter rounds. I hold RT and it will go ahead and load them out. Now if you don't have the extra rounds, but you have a clip that has, like, let's say 10 rounds in it and another clip that has like 15 rounds in it, and you want to combine the clips, all you got to do is hold RT by putting a magazine in your hand and hitting RB once, or RT and holding an RT, and then we'll take the rounds out. Now I can go ahead, go back into the inventory and hit B, and I will load up the magazine that I just emptied 4 rounds from. It's pretty that simple. Then we'll go back in our inventory, we'll send this back, and we will take the other magazine, combine it. It's a good way to save space. Now if you have, let's say 10 rounds, loose rounds, and you have another 8 loose rounds here, and then you just have a bunch of loose rounds that can go different places, you're definitely going to want to combine them. For instance, let's go here, and the reason why you want to combine them is before you put them in a cooking pot or whatever container you're holding it in, particularly because if you don't, they'll go in there in 2 separate categories, or 2 separate item boxes, which will just take up an item slot that you don't really, that you may actually really need. So we'll go ahead and we'll put the cooking pot in our hand. We'll hit B on them. So if you do the math, I got 12 slots. I got 3, that's 6, plus 2 more, that's 8, plus 2 more, that's 10. What rounds are these? 762 by 54. And we will go ahead and send these 762 by 54. We'll send them into that box. And there we go. I've created some room. I've made it so I can actually move a little bit better. And that's how you move the inventory around. Now there are other things that may happen in the game, more particularly, like, for instance, let's just use this as an example. Sometimes, let's go ahead and throw this on the ground. Sometimes you pull your gun out and you look down. If you, for instance, if for some reason a magazine will not load into your gun, just throw it on the ground and hit RT, and bam, It's kind of the same way you would do it if you're trying to open up a cooking pot, or I mean a can of beans from the cooking pot, or with a can opener, things like that. So you just got to be careful. I kind of think outside the box sometimes, because you're never really guaranteed anything when it comes to it. And I don't know. I just hate for you to get shot up and not know some of the tricks and inside trades that I've been picking up on my own that no one's been telling me about. Honestly, I don't think anyone really should. It's not their responsibility. But, you know, I feel like in a game like this, someone who's just starting out may benefit from this tutorial. I know I've just been hanging out in this one room in here, but I'll show you where I'm at. I'm in the airfield right now, so I just got to be super careful. Let's see who's on. Not a lot of people. I gotta be super careful, you know. So it's one of them things that you always want to make sure that keeping your head on a swivel. You're going through the progression. You're looking for the stuff that's supposed to matter, like these 7.62 39 rounds. If I had an AKM, I'd be doing great. I'd have what I need, but I don't, and I don't. Oh my god, guys. Oh my god. I've been looking for this. I don't even care if it's fucking visible. I do not care if it's visible. Bam, look at me. That's right. Places like this, you don't want to stay too long in. You want to get what you need. You want to get out. I'm playing on an unpopulated server as my home server, just because I want to be able to play the game like I want to, and be able to stash and loot as I need, going throughout the map, and not having to worry about being pummeled on a super populated server. Now, I will be going to populated servers to PvP, but I want to have a home base that I'm able to actually set up in. Essentially, even though there's no bases on the map, although I have heard that there are military and regular camping tents that you can find that you can use, which only leads me to believe that the next step in the updates is probably going to be barrels, but I could be wrong. The fact that we can bury dry bags in this game, you know, tells me that they're only one step away from being able to make it possible by adding barrels into the game, especially if I come across the tent. Now, I didn't think that UN helmets and press vests were in the game particularly, but I did see someone last night that I was playing with come across the press vest, and I offered to trade my Mosin for it, and he said no, understandably, because the press vest is a pretty badass. And, you know, he said the only way he trades if he came across the UN helmet, which is how I found out that there are some on the server, or all of them, I should say. And bless my heart, I found one. But I think I'm going to keep the helmet, and I'm going to find the vest somewhere else, because he did find it out here. We logged off together last night. Oh, how cute, right? We're holding hands off into the sunset. But we logged off together last night, and we were able to get what we need. This is pretty much what the game entails. It's a loot, scoot, and boogie type game. Keep your head on a swivel and hope you find some good stuff. Now, I hope you guys like what you see in the video today. If you guys feel like I've left anything out that may be worth for anyone knowing or everyone knowing, please let me know down in the comments. If you like what you see, though, hit that subscribe button, smash that like button, and don't be afraid to hit the notification bell to see future content in the future. I am an up-and-coming content creator. I'm just putting out the content that I like to see, and put out the video games that I like to play, and see how people react to them. And honestly, I'm open to feedback, so please let me know. Again, I do appreciate you guys. Thanks for stopping by. And again, hopefully you're taking care of yourself, taking care of your family, hoping you're loving yourself and loving your family most importantly. You guys have a wonderful day, guys, and I'll see you in the next episode of DayZ Standalone. Thanks, guys.